Okay, so here we are with the little Xiaomi camera and the iPhone 5S. Now, what we've got on here with the camera, once you've set it up into photo mode, you've got something in the middle there called Intervalometer. Now here you can see you can change the time settings between photos. So in this instance I chose 10 seconds. Then when I was ready, press the shutter button. It'll take one photo. So allowing for the fact I wasn't going to be in position for that one, I then got in position, waited for the next photo, and that was going to become my base layer. So you'll know when it's taken a photo because it flashes. I didn't have the phone with me, I left that to one side and just carried on moving around the room, setting up various poses. When I got to the end, obviously, pick the phone up and turn it off. But the next bit will be opening the base layer, opening an image that will actually cut a segment out and paste onto the base layer, and then that'll just show you the process that I went through. So over to the laptop. Okay, so here we go. We've taken a variety of images basically around the room, press the shutter, there's a 10-second delay, and we've taken an image, then we move, takes another image, then moves, takes another image. It's an automated process, so all we've got to do is move to the various positions. So this image is actually the start image, so I just pressed the shutter on the phone and then sat in the chair, and then the next image I've moved around a bit. A 10-second delay is fine for me because it means I can just move on to a little bit around the room. So now we need to open that image, the base or master image that we're going to use with Gimp. So obviously going to where the folder image is, we search for that and we know it's, I think it's in the many folder. I put it in, so it's basically many images, and we're showing the route down to it, but we could have gone there easier than that. But there we go, there's our main image, start image. So we'll open that one. And then what we'll do is we'll also open the second image as well. So here we go, here's the image actually open. So that's our base image. And what we need to do now is open the next image. So this will be like image plus one, whatever you want to call it. And not that one, yeah, there we go, the JPEG one. So that will now open, and we'll see that this is the image where I've actually moved a little bit. So what we need to do here, using the selector tool on the top left there, is actually select the portion we want to copy. So there we go, we copy it into the memory. I should have actually probably copied a bit more. Just to the right of that is the rest of the shadow of my arm. But for this purposes, we're just basically copying this image, pardon me, and then we're going to paste it into our base image, our master image. So now we need to just sort of drag it roughly into position. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're actually going to use the up and down arrows once we zoom in to actually fine tune the image so it actually is as near as damn it in the exact place where it should be. So you can see it here, we're just moving it incrementally down the screen. Then we're also going to move it over to the right a little bit. So we're gradually zoning in on where we want our image to be. Obviously when you're taking the images you want to make sure you don't kick anything or move anything, because obviously that'll make life harder. Now at the moment this is a floating image, so we can't actually remove the background in Gimp. We need to right click on this and actually turn it into a new layer. So when you actually turn it into a new layer, you see it's changed to a yellow sort of dotted outline. It now gives us access to the erase function, where we can actually now click into that new layer and actually start erasing components of it. Now here I'm just adjusting the size of the brush a little bit, and then we'll go around and gradually move little bits that we don't need. Now as we come down to a little bit lower, we'll see that we've actually got a section around where my arm was poking out. Obviously I haven't included quite enough of the original source because obviously I'm missing the far left of my hand, which is a bit awkward, but as you can see we're getting it's just about the general process. So here obviously I need to erase the bit where my leg was and also where my right arm is. Now gradually you can see it finally sort of relieving and coming into the view. There's a bit extra you can do. You can fine tune this as much as you want. I'm just doing this for speed, so hence the reason why it's a little bit inaccurate. But in essence, when you're happy, use the merge down, and that then places it into the background layer. Now clearly this isn't perfect because you can see sort of hard edges. So in essence, once you do that, you will actually save that as a file. I've saved it under a different name so I can go back and I can just add more and more to it. And that's pretty much basically what we do. Then you go to the next layer, open that, copy the next segment of the image you want, paste that into the actual image. Then when you're happy with its position, once you've fine-tuned it, you'll then create the new layer, erase the bits and pieces that you don't want. Ultimately, when you've finished, you want to go and export the final image as a JPEG file. Here in Gimp, you've got an option once you've done that to actually select the quality of the image. Now, the nearer you get to 100, the higher the quality, the more you drag it down the scale, the more you're introducing noise to actually try and get that better compression. But there we go, it's just exported that version. Now, when we close that, we should be able to close that also, and we should be able to get down and preview our file, which is many2, which is what we saved it as. So if I now right click on that, it should now open, and there should be 2 of me in that image. Once it opens, of course. Excuse for the slow computer. There we go, come on, load the data, there we go. But you can see there that there is more fine-tuning I could have done. I've actually sort of got a hard edge to the left-hand side of the body with the background. The important thing when you're doing this is to actually remember shadows. It's not just about the arms and legs, the physicalities of the person, but it's about the shadows that are cast on the wall as well, and also remembering things like reflections. So there is a little bit of extra work that I've actually shown here. And that's it.